Okay, good morning, all iLive listeners. We're here with an amazing individual, close friend of mine, Joa Rivas. She's been in the industry for over 20 years now, and she pretty much specializes in every area of health and fitness. I can tell you that she came from Venezuela and landed in Chicago at the age of 19. Joa, how you doing?
Hello, everyone. I hope everybody is having a great time today. I'm here in Toronto and I'm enjoying this sunny day of spring as we are transferring to a new season. I'm also excited because it's the time to eat fruits. Seasonal fruits is the time to connect to our Mother Nature. Yesterday we celebrated Earth Day. And yeah, I'm excited. How are you, Mike? I haven't been talking to you for like so long. I think last time was like 8 years ago.
Oh my God, Joa. Joa, let me know how this whole journey started, because I'm so impressed with your growth and I want to share your growth with the whole audience. But, you know, you came to Chicago, which was the first city outside of Venezuela. And how did you get the passion for fitness? How did it all start?
Okay, well, this story, it could be very long. I'm going to make it as shorter as possible and as fun as possible to everybody that is listening here. Well, as a very adventurous woman, I left my country when I was 19, and I left with a luggage. Pretty much, my dad told me, "Hey, I give you $300. I hope this will help you, but I'm not gonna be able to sustain you anymore." So I kind of took a risk. I kind of have this feeling that Venezuela was going to collapse, and literally look what happened to my country. So I was very precise with my decision. And I can never regret of making any changes like that. It was a very drastic change to give up in my entire life. I gave up in my career. I was already a teacher for kids, and I gave up on my career and my car, my apartment, everything. So I started from scratch, and from that moment, I started adding some movements because I was diagnosed with scoliosis when I was 15 years old, and that's kind of the beginning of mental and physical health, just because I had scoliosis.
Joa, what is scoliosis?
Okay, for those people that are listening, if you don't know what scoliosis is basically when your spine is tilted to one side or the other. It could be congenital because you're born with this dysfunction, a spinal dysfunction, or it could be also idiopathic. So idiopathic is like something that happening in the way that you were like developing your spine that could create this particular imbalance in your body, and could also be hidden. Like some of you guys may have it and you don't know that you have scoliosis because it's never being aggravated by a chronic pain. But I actually had a chronic pain for 10 years.
Geez. So Joa, when you got diagnosed in, I would assume, Venezuela at the age of 15, what was prognosed for you? What was the recommendations at that time?
Okay, so I was 15 and there wasn't much of the therapies. It was more like physiotherapy with a Swiss ball, which I've been using Swiss ball for more than 20 years, almost 20 years.
Right.
I have a Swiss ball right here next to me. I use it to not only strengthen my spine, but I also use it even to like sit on the Swiss ball. It's that big ball that you see that is about 65 centimeters.
Right.
I did exercises with the physical therapy. And also, doctors told me, you're going to have to be dealing with this your entire life. You may not be able to recover. Just try to do your best in movement. So instead of me giving up, I did my best. And I really put a lot of effort, and I was devoted to find the healing solution for my body. And it took me 10 years, but I was very happy by 25. My back pain and chronic pain, it reduced to nothing. Yes.
Oh my, and we're gonna get to when you were 25, but let me know. So from a muscle building standpoint, there was no recommendations from the doctors in Venezuela at that time?
Well, to be honest, I took a lot of painkillers like naproxen, which is a painkiller that goes right into your liver. And because the pain was really very bad. It was even affecting my sleep. I went to a clinic when I got to Toronto, and I went to the sleep clinic in Scarborough, and I slept one night over, and they told me that I was waking up 15 more times than a normal person. So my sleep was not a good quality of sleep, and I had pain in the entire day. It was like from the moment that I was going to sleep to the moment that I was waking up, I had pain. So it was just not an easy way to manage. So I had to take a lot of muscle relaxers that were causing me also some kind of impact on my liver.
Right. Okay. Now, I read in your bio, your bio that when you got to Chicago and you got to the gym industry, you were kind of learning from other members and stuff. Talk a little bit about that, because a lot of people new to strength and conditioning face that same challenge. So tell me about that.
From curiosity, I always invite people to be curious instead of being rejecting ideas. Just be curious, like little kids. So I was learning, and I started learning by just picking up weights and like kind of looking at the person next to me and try to imitate what the other people were doing.
Yes.
And that was a good way for me to learn. I took many classes, and I took a lot of yoga and Pilates, and I really was in love with Pilates. Specifically, Pilates has been one of the most powerful disciplines that has been able to teach me how to breathe and also how to activate the muscles that keep your body connected from the upper body to the lower body. So I think core is super essential, not only for those that are suffering from scoliosis and spinal dysfunction, but also for any athlete and anyone that is actually walking, really. Like, we need to have a strong core.
So with the Pilates, how, like, if you could be specific, how did it help at least the scoliosis, and in what way?
Okay, so Pilates, it teaches you how to breathe, and I think that's so essential for human, not only for our spine, but also to how you can actually feed your body. If you're actually having awareness of how you're breathing, it will be much efficient, your training. Once you know how to breathe, you will be able to be having a sustainable way of moving your body. So Pilates is based on breathing in through the nose and breathing out through your mouth.
Right.
When you breathe through your nose, you close your lips and you breathe only through the nose, and then you exhale through your mouth. So this breath is constantly within the hour class. It's usually 1 hour class, and there are many levels. You can start on mat, Pilates mat, and you move it into the reformer. You can also use a reformer, which is a little bit more of an advanced level, because now you're adding some resistance. But I'm telling you, I've been doing it since 15, and I'm 35, 20 years. And I now teach Pilates. And I mean, I've been teaching Pilates for more than 10 years, but I still teach Pilates. And I feel like the day one, I feel like it's such a powerful discipline that no matter how many years of practice you have, every time you do, it's just very efficient and effective.
No, I hear that a lot from a lot of the speakers I have that talk about the benefits of learning how to properly breathe and such, especially in yoga and Pilates. I don't know why it's not talked about more within the gym community, because lifting those weights, you need to have proper breathing, especially if you're going to go with heavier weights, right? Joa, as a female, and if you could kind of go back to when you were a novice, what are some of the challenges for ladies getting into the gym environment when they're novice and they don't know so much about different exercises?
Well, nowadays, women have been taking leadership on the gyms. I see a huge shifting on that perspective. Back when I was 19, few years ago, many years ago.
Yeah, last year.
I feel like we were curious, and slowly we start developing this very strong platform of women. I think one of the biggest myths is about muscle, because muscle always comes into your mind as a size and volume of the muscle, but actually muscle can be developed on the very deep level, which is actually your core. So actually, if you really focus on how to activate your core primary before anything, then you definitely want to prevent any injuries in the future, which is super important, because most of the athletes always develop injuries just because the lack of awareness of how they're breathing, how they're positioning their body. And also because the guys are very young, very masculine, very like driven, very go into it. So sometimes you need to take a little bit of step back and then learning the breathing, which is more like a yin, it's more like feminine, more connecting to the nurturing part. So I think it's important to do that. And for women now, I think it's being easy. I don't think there is any I train 50-50. I think most of my clients are they're 50-50, to be honest. I don't feel any, I never have felt any discrimination because of my gender. I think that is not it's not affecting me as a professional, but I
Yeah.
only know that it's still that muscle about woman having muscle is still a little bit there on that side that muscle it could be only for men, but I think there's a misconception there.
How do you deal with you know, a lot of ladies have a misconception about muscle growth and how that appears on their body, and you know what I'm saying, right? Like, how do you sell ladies on the fact that they have to engage in some resistance training?
Well, it's super important to actually develop muscle, as you know, just for longevity. You know, Ayurveda, I actually follow a lot of the Indian medicine, which is more of the ancestral medicine, this base of life, and it's about longevity. And the more you preserve your muscle, the longer you will live. As soon as we cause sarcopenia, which is actually losing your muscle, this will cause like the generation of your tissue, the generation of your joints. So we try to maintain and preserve our muscle as the most sacred part of our body that will maintain your posture and maintain your health. So I think it's important to develop muscle. If, of course, you will choose what type of muscle you want. If you want to have a thick muscle or you want to have a longer muscle. So I love to do Pilates and strength training because Pilates lengthens the body and the muscles. You have many layers of muscles. So then once you practice like bar, Pilates, all this about lengthening, swimming, it works on a deep level of muscle, and then the top layer you can always feed it when you train with like hypertrophy with typical lifting, carry.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, someone wants to, like how you're combining Pilates with weight training. What would you recommend? Obviously, everyone's different, but what would you kind of recommend as far as how much Pilates per week versus the training, the combination? What are your thoughts?
Yes, well, that's a good question. I usually I actually create and predict how this person is going to react to this program depending on their lifestyle and the goals and the needs and all this. So I add at least 2 sessions of Pilates a week. And it's not a lot, to be honest. When you do 20 minutes of Pilates, it's enough to feel it. Like if you're doing it properly, within 1 minute, you're already feeling the activation on the core. So I feel like at least 20 minutes of practice 2 times a week will create some type of awareness. Pilates is definitely super crucial. I would say 20 minutes 2 times a week. I think that's very realistic to do. And for men and women, okay? This is for both. This is not only for women, this is for both.
For men, right? No, because it's dealing with the body, the muscle structure and everything. Now, if someone is focusing on weight training and combining it with Pilates, is it safe to say they don't have to do as much core exercises in the weight training because the Pilates would take care of that? What are your thoughts on that? Because I mean, I haven't done too much Pilates, but I'm kind of opening up my mind to it. So I'm trying to figure out how that would work.
Oh, for you, let's say, I will just say a core is always activated if you're actually aware of your posture. So I do have a posture program that is called a PSP. I created in 2015 when I created my life again. I left Australia in 2015. And I wanted to just experience life from another point of view. And very far away, I decided to go to Australia. And before I decided to take my entire life there, I thought about creating the posture program, which includes Pilates. So I feel like somebody like you or any athlete, it needs to have awareness of the posture. And by that, you will know how to breathe. So I feel like you can do Pilates as an extra support program, but I think weight training is never being neglected. I think weight training is super important. Again, it's not about the length. I think it's about the quality. You may have only 30 minutes a day, which that's going to be your only time. And as soon as you can actually commit, you can do it. Like even 30 minutes will get you in a great body composition, because we're looking for body composition, right? So we're just trying to make sure that you have proper amount of muscle with your amount of fat, and you are actually heading into the longest and the high quality life that we all want.
I saw that you started up the posture program, and I was like, man, that's just fabulous. So I want to know, like you just explained why you got into it. Now, some may think that, you know, with the posture, I mean, isn't it more about just strengthening the back, strengthening the shoulders so they can retract back all the areas of your posterior? to make sure the posture is strong? Is there anything else that I'm missing as far as helping with posture?
Okay, well, posture is actually, it goes through actually your mind, because your eye, the position of your eye is super important. So there are many elements on posture, and even goes into the way how you project yourself. It happens that many people are passing through traumas, and they change their personality. They start adding mask, because actually personality is adding mask in your life. And by doing this, your posture will change. You can also notice that you're passing through like a divorce, which I have had a pass through divorce. You may get a little bit depressed, and you may start losing your posture and then getting poor posture. So posture is, as I've been studying posture for so long, I'm being fascinating about the intrinsic connection of emotions in your posture.
That work?
I follow Tony Robbins and many, motivational speakers. And actually, Tony Robbins always said to stand up when you're like the first thing what you do when you want to start anything, just to set up your mind. You stand up with your hands on your hips and really tall with your feet hip distance apart. That posture is a very powerful posture. And I actually do that naturally. Like my main picture on my website is actually with my hands on my hips, and I'm just like a superwoman. And that's just a very strong posture. And I didn't know that actually it's related to your emotions. You feel really confident to project yourself to the world. So I feel like posture is not only about the physiology, but also the emotions. It's really interesting. Yeah.
Do you think emotions and stress affect, I mean, this is deep, but muscle building?
Well, of course, because as you know, the cortisol, which is the stress hormone, will be released on high levels of stress. And this will affect your gut health. When your body is not able to actually digest the food, it will affect you how you can actually bring this nutrition to your muscle. So totally, stress will affect your testosterone levels, your sex drive. It will affect like your insulin way to metabolize the carbs. So I mean, seriously, hormones are like the most important. I read a lot about this book. I really love doctors, and I love to promote local talent. So this
book is that? What book is that? So the listeners.
Yeah, this is Dr. Natasha Turner. It's perfect because it's not even in the video. It's not even showing the mirror, so you can actually read it. This one is called The Hormone Diet.
Yeah.
Natasha Turner, she wrote this book many years ago, but actually the information is really on the top of what we can do. If you're actually curious about your life and about your body, you can people can read about your hormones, but actually the stress hormone in this moment in 2021 is being spiked like crazy. So I think it's important to know and to understand how this can actually affect your strength training,
Joe, I'm loving this interview. You're providing so much info, I'm telling you. And there's so much to talk about. I want to get back to the mind to body training that you specialize in. What are some of your recommendations for people who, have trouble with motivation, getting stress out of their mind, and really focusing on, not only the program, but just each rep? What are your thoughts? What are your recommendations?
For focus?
Focus, mind to body, relationship with your muscles, things like that.
Well, I think it's super important to understand concentration. It's something that nobody teaches in the school. Your parents tell you, concentrate, but they don't teach you how to concentrate. So we have to guess what's the way, what's the method I'm using to concentrate. So I think, again, I know this is very repetitive, but it's the base, and I cannot stop telling you that breath work is the most important piece on the human body to connect to yourself and to find focus. If you have a shallow breath and you are constantly with a race Formula One of mind, that it goes on chasing rabbits. So your rabbits are activities that are coming in and out in your brain. I teach yoga and meditation. So I'm telling you that once you can connect to your pineal gland, the pineal gland is in the middle between your eyebrows, and they say that it's your third eye, right? And it comes all these philosophies that people get confused. I actually was teaching to the kids. I volunteer on this organization teaching kids about health, and I was talking about yoga, and one of the kids stopped the participation because he thought that yoga is about religion. And the organizer was telling me that. And it's so funny, the misconception again about yoga and thinking that yoga is a religion thing. Actually, yoga is about union. It's about union of your body with your breath. And it's just about one. It's not related to a God or any symbol. It's just about you and the way as you're mindfully connected to your body. So it's funny how people are confused, but I'm telling you, like yoga, which is union, you can practice your breath work, and in this way the focus will come into your activities on daily basis, and you may have to reset this constantly, you know, like I've been doing it for over 10 years, and for me I have like an alarm. My alarm is like it's there, so it's very easy for me to connect to my emotions. When I feel anger, when I feel emotions that are still teaching me in a way, I try to stop and witness, right? So I think it's very important for us to develop that sense by practicing and then being curious about breath work. And that way you want to be able to connect to be focused. Is your focus, you want to be able to do anything from activities like physical activities to like thrive in your career and be able to be a leader in your family.
No, that's for sure. Joe, what if you had to recommend one, and I know you don't want to, but at least like you doing yoga and Pilates. I don't want to ask you what's the difference, but what do you recommend for somebody that is weight training already?
What do I recommend for what?
Someone who's weight training and wants to combine one of the two.
Well, to be honest, like I've been doing the wellness coaching globally for over 10 years. And it's a different experience because it teaches me culture. It teaches me the way how people appreciate health. Like for Singapore, I worked in Singapore for 2 years. In Singapore, there is a culture about fitness. You know, in Canada, there is a culture about fitness. So it's important to know that there is not a perfect formula. So this answer will be very vague for me to tell you what it fits you. But the only thing I can tell you again is to connect to your own body by listening to your body. Like I love dancing since I'm a little kid. So anything that I do dancing, I enjoy. So whatever you do in your life, no matter what, just enjoy it. That's always what I'm telling you. Just have fun. Find a way to make it fun and play. Super important to come back to that previous years when we were having fun and play, because then it becomes natural, you know? So like I enjoy lifting heavy weight because I'm challenging myself with myself. I challenge myself with only myself, and I have fun like that. I love my dancing classes. I love Tai Chi. I teach Tai Chi as well. I love Tai Chi because it's very slow, and I'm always, particularly, I'm very hyper, as you notice already with my voice. So I think
you're the greatest.
Anything that challenges me and it's hard, I usually like that. I know it's very strange, but I like that. So Tai Chi is so slow that I kind of like the stillness that I learned from the slowing down the pace. And then the connection with the elements as well. So, I mean, I choose what I want, and then it becomes my routine. No matter if I'm with a coach, because I also have coaches, but no matter if I'm with them or not, I'm just enjoying the process. So it's very important for everybody that is listening to your podcast today, to your radio, is that just do what you love. Like just write down in a paper. It's very important to journal. So journal by writing down what do you really enjoy, and especially remember those times when you were a kid, and what did you enjoy? Were you practicing a soccer? Were you practicing, were you a great swimmer? Those things that you enjoy when you were a kid, it's time now to pull those tools and come back and just do it without any...
You need to get going.
Yeah, and it's so fun. I'm just telling you, it's so fun. I think it's super important to start playing with that. They call it inner child, but literally it's just with you, with the essence of who you are.
So Joa, this is the time I want to talk about the sexual health. I know you're a guru. You're a master at this.
Thank God you're asking for this. There is so much taboo, and there is so much secrets about this. And I've been talking about this because I have clients that are actually sex therapists, and we always chatting about this. Like it's so important. Tell me about it. What is the question?
So let me ask you. What I know you're amazing at nutrition, because me and you used to talk about nutrition at least 10 years ago. How does nutrition affect people sexually?
Sex drive.
Okay.
That's what the question is. I couldn't hear you.
No, you said it. Maybe you want to elaborate.
Could you repeat it? I could not.
Oh, how does nutrition affect sexual health?
Okay.
Mhm.
All right. I think we have to go back even more, because actually just nutrition is your actions, right? Like nobody's putting the food in your mouth. You decide to eat. So I think it's very important to understand how you feel and what are your thoughts about life, because the nutrition is your choice. So you are deciding to eat what you want to eat. If you want to eat junk food, if you want to eat healthy food, if you want to eat your mom's food, if you want to eat McDonald's, whatever, you choose what you want to eat. And so beyond that, I think it's very important to understand hormones again, super intrinsic connection between our feelings and our desires and our actions. So I feel like having a balanced, high nutrient dense calorie food intake is super important for all the hormones, including your sex hormones. As everybody knows, the testosterone, the progesterone, the estrogens are super connected together, and we cannot ignore this, especially now that the food comes with all these additives and factors that can influence on how you can retain estrogens. There is a lot of estrogen dominance population in this moment, because people are having more plastic in the cookware. People have just like plastic. They're having bottles of plastic as well, with BPA leaking into the water, which causes incremental on estrogens in the body. So I think we have to make sure that your nutrition is in tune with your goals, and also to just prevent diseases. For guys, I think it's important to make sure that you have your zinc. I think zinc is important for anyone that is training. Zinc is important also as a shield for those people that want to make sure the immune system is proper. Make sure you have your zinc. Zinc, you can find food with high levels of zinc, like the how you call ostrich? How you call this?
What?
The exotic.
Exotic?
What do you call this seafood? I forgot the name.
Shrimp?
No, those very sexy.
Oh man.
The shells with I forgot. Oh my goodness.
I'm the worst guy for.
It will come to me.
So Joa, which kinds of foods would help with libido, help with sex drive? I'm sure the people want to hear this.
I think the first food that comes is actually your thoughts, because you're feeding your brain. So I think it's very important to be very confident and to know that you're very sexy, the way as you are. And the mic is like, really? Yeah.
There you go.
You who are listening, you are less sexy, just the way as you are. Just believe it. Believe it, because your mind will follow your thoughts. So I think it's very important to know that. Not comparing with anyone. There's a lot of comparison. A lot of people are into watching pornos, and if you want to compare your body with these guys, then please, you have a very high standard there. So I think there's a big misconception with that. It's very important to just love your body and feel sexy as you are, and the shape that you are. You're just simply sexy as you are. And I think that's how you start feeding the hormones, to be honest, because your mind, especially for guys, could be very tricky in terms of having sex drive. And in terms of food, I would say that food that is high in zinc will always stimulate your testosterone. There is something called maca, as people know. Maca, M-A-C-K. People have
from Peru.
It's an adaptogen that increases testosterone in both, but more on men. And it can be taken in the morning for sure, and you can use it to train, or you can just use it to increase your libido. That question is also interesting, because there is a lot of low libido in this moment in the 2021. My acupuncturist told me, like, are your clients with low libido? Because I'm receiving a lot of my patients with low libido, especially the males. So yeah.
Low libido.
Sorry?
Did you say low libido?
Yes.
Oh, okay. I sorry, Joe. I didn't hear what.
There is something going on with that. I'm not sure if it's related to the high levels of stress of what's happening. A lot of people that are laid off. It could be so much uncertainty that is happening that is causing high levels of stress and causing these. Not your mind is not into being intimate with your partner. I was thinking, okay, oysters.
Oysters. Okay.
Oysters.
They're high in zinc?
They're aphrodisiac. They're high on zinc. That's why they're aphrodisiac, because they're high in zinc.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, in Venezuela, they call it rompecolchón, which means break the matrix. Break the matrix. So I'm telling you there, just a little tip for those guys listening to the podcast, the radio today. Yes.
So there's no like program that you have in mind or anything from an exercise standpoint that would help women and men. It's more mental and obviously focusing on zinc, correct?
Yes, there is another one that is a herb from China, and it's called Dong Quai, and that's really good for women. They actually have low desire, low sex drive. It's called Dong Quai. And then for guys will be maca, those two. Of course, you can go for like the blue pill, but you try to go natural. But I'm telling you, I think it's a lot of mind. For guys, there's a lot of mind that you guys have to be very confident and know that you're just sexy and you are super attractive as you are. I think it's super important to know that, and never compare yourself with nobody.
That's good. Now, I wanted to get into the ladies that are trying to have babies, the ladies that just finished having a baby. I know that you're a guru in that department. What do you recommend for ladies that, 1, 2, 3 months pregnant and they're deciding, should I stop working out or should I continue working out?
Yes, well, I became a doula in 2018. I did the birth doula program and the postpartum doula. So for those people that don't know what doula means a woman on service. So on service when a woman is having a birth, or on service when a woman has a baby. So that's what I know a little bit more about motherhood. I'm not a mother, but I'm always fascinated about this topic because I do have that possibility one day to be a mother, and many of my friends are actually mothers. I just want to know more about it. So in terms of women that are thinking and conceiving a baby, I think it's very important to maintain your exercising, because before you actually conceive a baby is the most crucial time, because it's the time that you create in life. So I think that's super important. I have a program that is called Mariposa Mama, which means in English, butterfly mother. And it's literally a woman transforming into a mother. And it's related to a program that it will teach the woman how to connect the emotions that are completely changing in this process to the physical changes, to the new person that you have to develop as a mother, right? So this program includes Pilates, strengthening the core with Pilates and yoga. I include belly dancing. So I hired this girl that teaches belly dancing for moms, and it was super fun to be doing belly dancing, because actually belly dancing is super good to like loose up the hips and like be very in tune with your sexuality and also your fertility as well. And then I included salsa and like rhythms for dancing to make the woman happy, because women get very grumpy on when they're pregnant.
Now, Joa, how long, up to what month do you recommend the dancing and the belly dancing?
Until forever.
Like right up until the 9th month?
Forever, This is a little bit of a very sensitive topic. So like all the legal part is I've been writing down all the legal part with lawyers and all that, making sure that it's safe with doctors. The first 3 months of the pregnancy, the first trimester is the trimester that we just have to be making sure that the woman is taking care of her body and is not doing too much of a crazy sort of movements. But after second trimester, third trimester, it's okay to exercise up to the moment of delivery, unless the woman has predisposition to an issue. But this is all with waivers. So like women that practice the butterfly program, they actually sign the waivers and they make sure that they're okay to do this program, which is just Pilates. It includes dancing, and also includes the emotional part to avoid postpartum depression, which is a lot about nutrition. What are you eating within your pregnancy and before is super important to make sure that the kid is going to be healthy, but also that the mother's health is protected. Many times they forget about the mother's health in the postpartum phase. Super important to make sure that the hormones are slowly coming back to the regular level.
Hmm. Now, as far as from a physiological standpoint, the muscles in the body, what are your thoughts on different programs in the first trimester, second, third, and then what are your thoughts on, the rehab coming back after the baby from that standpoint? And
Yeah.
the nutrition, what are your thoughts on that? Just dealing with that lady going through that whole 9-month process. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, I am super, super happy that I work not only alone, I have amazing people around me that I come with these ideas and they're like, okay, I want to contribute with this, with that. So Dr. Michelle Basuroy, she's here in Toronto. She's a naturopath doctor and she's an specialist on fertility and motherhood. She has herself 2 kids. So she does the nutrition for my clients, especially the
Nice.
mothers, specifically following protocols to support the womb
Mm-hmm.
for the baby. So I think this is a little bit out of my scope of practice because I'm not a nutritionist. I'm
Mm-hmm.
only guide the person through the physical part. And
Yeah, that's fine.
I give a general guidance for nutrition, but the really deep nutrition expert is actually my friend and
Right.
Dr. Michelle Azoroy.
From the physical side, what do you usually advise? And
From the physical part, I think it's super important to maintain your posture because by having actually the weights in the front, it creates a lot of pressure in the lower back. It creates a lot of pressure around the hip area, the bone, the tailbone area, and even the legs gets heavy because the lack of fluids and circulation. So I think it's important to move gentle, to follow
go
a
at light weights, light weights.
follow a routine daily. Michelle actually trained until her last day of her pregnancy, and she trained with weights. She has a CrossFit gym, and she did
Dr.
it.
Basuroy.
Yes.
Yeah, Michelle.
With her,
Yeah.
you can definitely interview her.
Yeah,
Michelle Basuroy, you know her.
Michelle used to work with us. That's
Yeah,
great.
of
That's great.
course. You see how I am? I keep my friends close to me. You see? Yeah, you
So
know.
Joe, like, as far as the volume, let's get into like the volume of like weight training, strength training for people, getting into the pregnancy. What do you recommend? Do you do a lot of like what kind of volume of work do you recommend for people? Because some people will overdo it. What is your thoughts on that? And what
I
areas
think it's
should be
important to
avoided
know
more?
that all depends on your previous level, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Like somebody like Michelle, she was an athlete on CrossFit Games. She's like a top athlete, so for sure she was training like 80% of her regular weight. It was okay for her, but for somebody, many times women they're like sedentary. They start training within the pregnancy. So for somebody that is just a newbie, I wouldn't be training heavy. I would just like put
It has to be progressive.
yeah,
It's got to
put
be progressive.
some attention into Pilates, some attention into posture, and just regular movements, but not too crazy,
Yeah, that's important. So what are you doing right now for fitness for your own self? What do you do?
As you see in the background, I do use kettlebells. I think kettlebells for me are really functional because I do have a little bit of a scoliosis. No matter what, I do have it. Not with pain, but I have a little bit of an imbalance in my body. So I think kettlebells are great because they're actually unilateral movements. So it gets me very balanced when I move. I do have a low back extension, which I activate my lower back, my hamstrings every day. So I just try to incorporate movements that keeps me as actually safe with my back and also sane in my brain, because if I don't exercise, I get a little cuckoo.
Do you do a lot of band works? What are your thoughts on band programs and kettle programs, especially for people coming back from an injury or chronic back pain, things like that?
Okay, well, seriously, again, it's what you have available. Your body is your gym. So actually, if you have zero equipment, you still have your body and you have a gym right there. Free access 24/7. So let's move the body. Elastics are great if you have them. They're very light. You can take them to the park. You can take them with you when you travel. So they're pretty accessible, very easy to just move. Particularly, I just like to lift heavy weight myself. So I do my kettlebells and I do steel maces too. Steel maces a little bit harder, a little bit more complex than kettlebells because it's actually longer. It creates a little bit more of a challenge for balancing and for core. So I like the steel maces. And then I think the elastics are definitely a great addition if you're actually traveling.
If you're speaking to all the people that have scoliosis, because I don't think I'm going to get another person on here that knows scoliosis as good as you. If you were speaking to an audience full of scoliosis, and they just got diagnosed and what are your recommendations for people just getting in and people that have had scoliosis for a long time? What are your thoughts there?
Well, I think it's important to have a proper diagnosis with your doctor, so you exactly know what you have. Like I had dextroscoliosis. I know what was my degree of my scoliosis. I have an MRI. So, okay. What was that? I have a timer, by the way. So I actually make sure that I'm right on time because I do have more work to do.
Yeah.
But yes, I'm telling you that I think it's important to have a diagnosis, to have proper physiotherapy. And then on top of the physiotherapy, you can definitely add some Pilates. I will suggest you, if you never have done Pilates, have your teacher, have a teacher that can teach you the basics from the floor. You can do Pilates mat, which is the basics. And definitely it's something about consistency. So my program of PSP, the Posture School program, is about practice 15 to 20 minutes a day. And then also, if you want to add some cardio to improve your cardiovascular, you can do. But the program is only 15 to 20 minutes a day. It's very realistic, and you can just choose 3 to 4 times a week.
What are they practicing mostly in that program?
Like you commented at the beginning, it's all about understanding the power of your joints. So like it's about retractions of the scapula, which is your shoulder blades. How you are positioning your shoulder blades. It's about how you're breathing and activating your core muscles. How you actually activating your butt, your buttocks, your inner thighs, and how mobile you are, and how you actually activate your neck. You actually do a lot of rolling and activation of the neck muscles. So it includes a lot of movements between yoga, Pilates, Pramo movements. We also include animal movements. The program is a 4-month program. Is ideally you want to take 1 month per phase. So 4 phases, 4 months, 16 weeks. And you can do it alone. You can go to my page and do it. Or if you want to have my coach, just get a call with me, and then we just coach each other every week. And I coach each other because I learn. Every person, I learn so much from the students. So I love to learn from them. Yes.
Joe, what's the toughest part about the posture program? Obviously, they need your guidance. And when they're on their own, what is the toughest part to execute or to get consistent within your posture program?
What I believe is actually to have the consistency. I mean, people want easy changes and easy fix, but nobody's gonna do it for you. You gotta do it. So I tell them, guys, I designed the program, the videos are there, English, Spanish, right? Espanol. And yes, you can just do it, but sometimes after a month, the person loses the motivation and it forgets, and then that's it. You fall out of the wow, and that's it. So you gotta just make sure that you are committed for 10 minutes, and that's gonna be the secret, right? Nobody's gonna do it for you.
No, this is very true. Motivation is a huge thing. Massaging. I know that you really got in deep with Thai massage. Tell us about how you got into that, and what are some of the benefits that people are missing out on by not taking advantage of Thai massages?
Oh, okay. Thai massage, I actually became in 2013 Thai massage therapist from the Thai Massage Toronto. And I was really happy that I took this course with the founder of the school. And she was super, super good, super talented. And I really loved the way she taught me, because I went to Thailand and I received Thai massage in Thailand. And I was a little disappointed, to be honest, because I don't, for the money, I know it's $10 massage and people just love it. Particularly, I found that they were not even listening to me. And I just really didn't enjoy it. They actually hurt me instead of like healing me. So I didn't like it, to be honest. I was just so happy that I did Thai massage here, and I was actually taught by someone with so much knowledge. So my Thai massage is not the Thai massage that people think. A lot of people are confused. Oh, Thai massage, that's so painful. That's so horrible. Like, I don't want to get it. So no, my Thai massage is actually focused on the meridian lines of the body. And we are working on stretches the body, like the fascia stretches. and the yoga combined with the breathing. So that's my Thai massage. That's the one that I learned from the school. And I think everyone received that beautiful, sacred modality. But unfortunately, I don't know why when I went there, I was a little disappointed. And
What's the concept of their massage, Joe?
my massage is not like what people think, because a lot of people get confused that it's actually painful. And I don't think it's actually painful.
So, Joe, obviously you've personalized your massage, which is great. What is the original concept from Thai as far as their massages, if you could kind of break it down?
Yeah, no, actually, like I was commenting before, actually Thai massage is based out of the meridian lines of energy, and it's trying to regulate any blockages that happens in your body.
Mm-hmm.
So it's about lengthening, it's about mobility. So that's the base out of the Thai massage. We also breathe and we compress with your hands. You don't use oil, so it's oil-free massage. And
Mm-hmm.
you with cloth. You have to be with this cloth that is actually not too tight on your body. So it's like a loose cloth. So that's how it is. It's much different because you don't use oil. That I think that a lot of people are normal getting the massage with oil, but no, for this one it's oil free.
So they don't touch the skin, Joa? They touch your clothing?
Yes, the cloth, yeah. I do, that's how I learned. The massage is on their cloth that you actually receive. And even when I went to Thailand, they gave me this cloth, and you just wear these big Thai pants, and you just wear them. I found one person that did amazing, and I gave her a massage. I remember in Koh Samui, this lady, she was so good, and I told her, wow, you're so good. This is the real massage. And I gave her a massage. I paid her, and I told her, I want to give you a massage. And I gave her a massage.
What constitutes an amazing Thai massage, in your opinion?
I think our hands are so sacred, and we have so much sensations in our fingertips. So when you're a good masseuse, you listen through your fingers. You listen to your fingers. You can be connected through your fingers. So I feel like if you just push in there and just trying to follow a routine that you learn over and over, it becomes more like a robot. But actually, I think like Thai massage is more about connection to our fingertips as a sacred way to detect the body disalignment or the body disease. I think it's important to know that. So I think this lady in Koh Samui that I love, I think she was in tune. And I remember when she did the massage, like, yes, this is the one I know. And I love that. But so that was a good experience in that particular. Most of the places, it was not like I learned in the school here.
Do you encourage your clients who are receiving the massage to incorporate certain breathing techniques as well?
Definitely. The whole connection of the energy is synchronized with the practitioner. So that the person receiving the therapy is breathing along with the practitioner. Okay,
so they breathe together. I didn't realize that. That's great. You said there was another practice that you mentioned, acupuncture. Do you do any acupuncture?
I only receive acupuncture since I'm 15 as a receiver. I never have given it. I try to study, but I realized that it's a lot of commitment. To be able to be an acupuncturist, a global recognized, you have to study for 10 years. So I was, for a moment, I thought about it, but I do have a different vision of myself. So I just received acupuncture.
Well, that's good. Joe, I know back in the day, you said work with a lot of different clients. Some come in with a little bit extra weight, and there's a lot of popularity now about fasting and intermittent fasting. And, it depends on, like you're going to say, what kind of individual we're working with. Is it an athlete, someone coming in with health problems? But what are your thoughts on intermittent fasting and fasting altogether to restrict calories?
I practice fasting, I think, from a very meditative level, because it was the way to go through an ashram in India. And that's when I start fasting. And I practiced this program that I needed to be on empty stomach and to be able to meditate 2 times a day on empty stomach. And I start my own fasting practice into a more of a meditation practice method. Then later on, I developed an issue on my stomach. I was vegetarian. I developed an issue, And I realized the less I was eating, the better I was feeling. So I started doing more fasting, intermittent fasting, which was more like an hour restriction, just because I was feeling better without eating. And then later on, I started reading more about it. And then intermittent fasting came now as a way of promoting fat loss. So that's what I can tell you.
What's your eating window?
Well, in the moment, I only listen to my body, and as always, but normally as it is, I try to sit and eat and take the time without rushing. So basically, normally I break my fast at 2, I eat around until 8, so maybe for 6 hours I'm eating. And then the rest is a ton of filtered water, like proper water, and electrolytes like Himalayan salt, and bone broth. I also have. I love bone broth. That's basically what I do in between liquids. Cup of like fresh coffee and things like that.
I know that you went on stage. You've done fitness competitions. You've looked fabulous. I've seen the pictures and everything. What are some of the diets and what are some of the eating habits that people that go on stage usually get involved with? I get so many people asking me that, not to say they're going to do it, but I know they're interested in finding out what kind of discipline eating they have to do to get on stage.
Yeah, well, now I think everything has changed so much. Back in the day when I started, I think it was so rigid with the way to be fit and to be able to be presentable on the stage.
Yeah.
I think now it's been changing a lot, and people have been stepping on a stage, being vegetarian. People have been there by different levels. So I think the way for you to create muscle is very different from one person or the other. There are standards. So I would say, like, back when I started, I was eating like 7-8 times a day. I wouldn't be doing that now if I would have
every 2 hours, right? Remember that? Every 2 hours.
Yeah, like with the knowledge I have in the moment, I don't think I will be doing that now. So I feel like it's been changing a lot. I do now coaching for athletes they want to compete, or for people that are actually on sports. And I feel like the nutrition for me is very intuitive, and it's more about how are you regulating your hormones to get your goals. Like I go more into like hormones than more into the aesthetic, because at the end, someone that has a proper body composition, it will be the strongest in the field, whatever it chooses to do. So I think body composition is on top of anything, and that means that you're trying to have the lowest body fat possible in a healthy level, and that's gonna get you a very sexy body if that's what you are looking
what would you recommend, Joa? If you didn't want to do what you did way back when, what would you do now?
Particularly, I would not be doing the cheating meals. I don't believe on cheat meals. I believe on a more of a proper way of living, and because that gives you a guilt. Just the word cheat meal, it gives you in your mind, you have a guilt. Like, what am I doing?
One cheat meal a week, right?
Yeah, so I would change that terminology, and I would just let it open to more like a free meal that the person is open to just share with people, because I think the most important about food is about connecting to people. So it's like cultural as well. Like if your mom prepared you something, you receive it with love just because she made it for you. So I think there is a lot of different ways to connect to food, and it doesn't have to be in a way that is so rigid. That's what I think.
So you don't believe in the eating every 2 hours? Maybe we can open it up, bigger windows. Yeah, what are your thoughts?
I will have to make an assessment for each individual to make sure that the nutrition the person is choosing is what it fits the lifestyle, right? Because maybe somebody can eat every 2 hours because it is super active. But nowadays that we have our home office and we're barely moving, I don't think that methodology is too efficient.
Oh my God. I know we're running out of time here. I just wanted to go over one quick thing. We got the pandemic going on, Joa. What are your clients doing? What are your recommendations for people that really have not been doing anything? What are your final thoughts on that? Because a lot of people feel trapped right now in their homes. Not everybody has the knowledge that you and I have. What are your recommendations?
Join me.
Join Joa.
Join our tribe. I'm sorry, like I have to tell you, I've been working for the past 3 months in this new project I have. It's about connection and community, because I meditate so much and I listen to what I'm here for. How can I serve my community that actually I enjoy every day, and people just get the service from me that makes sense, right? So as we evolve, I feel like what we are needing in the moment is actually community connection, because especially in Toronto, we have been in full isolation for almost a year.
Exactly.
Very minimum openings, but mostly a year in isolation, which has been great for people that need to go on an introspective level, but at the same time, we're social beings. So I find that everything is there. YouTube is there for free, but the accountability is not there. So what I provide to my community is the accountability. Like, hey, 8 in the morning, I will see you live. We're gonna have 30 minutes fun. It's gonna be like 6 people together. It's gonna be 10 people together. I see you there. So that's what I'm creating now, is communities online where you can be there with your neighbors, you can be there with your family, and still getting your feet and your health life in level in a collective way. Very important to connect and collectively grow and be healthy.
That's fabulous. JoaFitness.
By the way, 360. Sorry?
I said JoaFitness.com.
Yes.
So you have online training for the people in the UK and the Caribbean?
Everywhere. That's the fun part about this. Like, I'm so global. I traveled for over 25 countries. I live in Australia and Singapore. I live in US. So I've been traveling so much. And I think this is a great opportunity in my career to expand and to promote health limitless. So if you are there boring and you don't know what to do, you're tired of watching YouTube that have no sense and no communication, I will invite you to check out my Joa Fitness is .com -360. So the program is called 360, and it includes webinars. The webinars, I will bring guest speakers, and we will be talking about real topics. So we will be talking about sex drive. We will talk about menstrual cramps and information that everyone wants to listen. So I think this is very cool. It's not only about fitness, but about education.
And you deal with over 40 fitness.
Over 40?
Yeah, I saw it on your website. Over 40 fitness consultations. That's great. Are you training the older people different from the younger ones?
No, it's for everybody.
That's it. Well, listen, Joa, thank you so much. Like, you gave me so much new information on everything to do with breathing to the sexual health. That's going to be fabulous. We definitely need to get you back on the show again. And do you have any last words to share with our audience?
I only can tell you that, one more time, breath is the secret and the power of you as a human. And when you breathe, you connect to your true purpose. And if you're here alive, you have a purpose. So find it and just thrive.
All right. Okay, iLife listeners, this is Coach Mike here with Joa Rivas. We got a great show, and I hope you guys have a great day. Take care. Bye for now.
Thank you.